25-day setup call with me, your trainer for this call, Abigail Barnes. I am so excited that we are going to get to spend the next 25 days hanging out on this program, living, learning and evolving all together. And by the end of our time, you are just going to feel like you're back in the driving seat, that you have made some progress, and we overestimate what we can achieve in a month, but we truly, truly underestimate what's possible to achieve in a month. If you've done this program before, you'll know what I'm talking about. If this is your first time doing this program, then I'm so excited for you, because you are going to get so much knowledge and information. And the thing about the program is it's like going to the gym. You don't just, get the body that you want and then you suddenly stop going to the gym. It's a lifetime, it's a commitment. So you'll see people who are in this program who have done it before and who might have done it like month after month after month, because you are always learning, you are always getting a new angle, you are always getting a new perspective, and it is just so incredible. So during our time together today, I'm going to talk about 8 things. We're going to talk about the reset method, the life audit survey, which you should all have completed, the 2 goals that you want to be setting, the bonus training videos, the workbook and progress tracker, getting the most out of the program, self-sabotage and success mindset, and then finally one-to-one coaching session options. So let's get started. So for the benefit of those of you who don't really know who I am and we've not hung out that much, and perhaps we've just met recently through a social media app, or someone's recommended you to the program, my name is Abigail Barnes. I'm a coach, a trainer, a speaker, an author and a consultant around all things productivity and marketing strategy. I have a book called Time Management for Entrepreneurs and Professionals. This is the revised and updated version of my first book, which was just purely for entrepreneurs. Perhaps you might have seen me, or we've hung out at some of these events over the last few years where I've spoken. These are also clients that I have worked with and still work with, and I just include them there because it's very easy to make up sort of assumptions about people and what it is that they do. And especially coming out of this pandemic, it's so important that we're communicating ourselves and our stories. So although you think you have signed up for a 25-day reset program, you've actually signed up for so much more. We're going to talk about mindset, we're going to talk about marketing, we're probably even going to talk a little bit about your business, because depending on what your goals are, these things, these questions are going to come up. Your current location is not your final destination. What I mean by this is whatever is going on for you in your life right now. Perhaps you're happy with it, perhaps you're unhappy with it, perhaps you're happy with most of your life. There might just be one part that you're frustrated with. So where you are isn't where you have to stay. And this just gives us all so much power and freedom to be able to then elevate. Elevate is a word I absolutely love. You will hear me use it a lot. So the reset method. The reset method is based on 5 super simple pillars. The first one, nothing is going to change until you review. So you are going to be reviewing where you are at right now. The second, evaluation. You have to evaluate that review. You have to sort of, look at it and have an honest conversation with yourself about, what does this mean and what do I want? Strategy is the third one. Execution is the fourth one, and tracking is the 5th one. So let's break them down a little bit. So what I mean by review is, where are you right now? Get really honest with yourself. And this is where that life audit survey is going to serve you so well. That survey is where you are taking a snapshot of what life looks like right now. You are going to be able to come back to that survey at the end of 25 days and look at that and see how much you've progressed, because the brain does this very funny thing. It loves to pretend that we haven't done anything. It loves to make up stories that we're not successful and other people are successful and that we didn't do enough. But when you track and keep an audit, an overview of where you are right now, it gives you back the power. So this review section is really, really going to be so beneficial for you. And be honest, no one else is going to be sort of judging you or looking at you. You don't have to tell anyone. It's not like you have to do a post in the group and say, I'm really rubbish at this and I'm not doing that. You can share what you want, but I would ask you, please share with compassion for yourself, because no one's rubbish. We just are where we are. We're doing what we're doing. Like, there is no perfect. Evaluation. The benefit of evaluation is we can see where we are today. We can see where we want to be. And this program is about helping you close that gap. So perhaps you're in a place right now where you just feel like you're juggling everything. You've got too many different things on the go. You don't know which one to do first. You've come out of, the pandemic lockdowns perhaps, and you're just undecided, you're unclear. So many people come to me and they're struggling with what is their purpose, and they don't quite know, but they know that where they are isn't where they're meant to be. And I 100% understand that, because I spent probably the first 10 years of like my professional life, let's not say 10 years of my life, because my professional life, so from like 20 to 30, actually probably 20 to 32, I just had no idea what I was going to do. But all I knew was what I was doing wasn't making me happy. I was paying the bills, I was making money, I was doing the things other people were doing, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. There was a hole in my soul, if you like, and perhaps you can resonate with that. Maybe that's where you are right now. That might be how you're feeling, that you're just at a crossroads in your life. And this next 25 days is just going to help give you information in order to be able to make decisions. And that's, the reality of it. There is no magic pill, one course, like, I'll just read this book and then I'll know. It's accumulation of things. And it's funny because somebody will say, oh, I read that book and then I knew. And then we're like, oh, if I read that book, then I'll know. But what we don't know is that they read that book after reading 20 other books. So somebody took that course after taking 20 other courses. So it's a journey, it's a progress. Personal development is like what you do for a lifetime. So it's closing the gap. You are absolutely perfectly fine where you are, but you are just closing the gap from where you are right now to where you want to be. And the other thing about this is, if you can visualize who you are in the future, then I'm telling you, you are that person right now. Who you want to become is who you already are. You're just not being that person at full volume. You're being who you are right now at full volume. And if you want to change and step from where you are to where you want to be, it's about taking the steps and going through this program and doing the work, as they say, and exploring things, trying things, confronting things, and keeping on going step by step by step by step by step. Who I see myself as in the future is someone who speaks on bigger stages to bigger audiences. Who I am right now is somebody who speaks on the stages I speak on. So I am a speaker, just not a speaker at the level that I want to be. Does this make any sense? So you already are who you want to be. You're just turning up the volume on that person, and you're also turning the volume down on the other person. And it's not even like it's two people, it's just voices in our heads, and we've all got voices in our heads. Strategy is the next one. So in the workbook, which I'll talk about a little bit more, but the workbook, you will be able to break down your goals into steps. And these steps are what is going to help you to achieve them. The thing with goals is like, we just look at them like they're a giant piece of chocolate cake, let's say. I'm not sure about you, but I do quite like chocolate cake. But if I had to sit down and eat an entire chocolate cake, I think I'd feel really quite sick. So it's about breaking it down into pieces and eating it bit by bit. Now, this is a really bad analogy because now I'm kind of encouraging you to eat 8 slices of chocolate cake, which I'm not. But, you know, there we go. Execute is the next step. So it's time for you to dive in. We're going to have lots of lovely chats about strategy and what you could do. And there's bonus training that you can watch, which talks you through how to set SMART goals if that's something that you don't know. There's also an amazing one on future life visualization. But unless you actually do something with what you know, nothing is going to change. So you're going to have to dive in. And then the final step is tracking. You need to keep a track of what it is that you do. Otherwise, how are you going to know? How are you going to know if what you did contributed to where you're at? And I'm laughing because side note, I actually have a funny fascination with meerkats. I just find them hilarious how they all sort of stand up very straight, and they look around to see what's going on, to see what everyone else is doing. So tracking yourself is going to be so helpful over the next 25 days. And we have given you a progress tracker that you can print out as well. The life audit survey. So as I said, this is where you are going to see where you are right now. I'm going to put the link to that again in the group and email you that link again. If you've not completed it, I recommend that you complete it because we cannot change what we do not track. So it is so important that we know where we're at, and then we've got something to build on. It's good to know where you're at so that you're not sort of thinking that it's worse than where you think it is. Yeah, you can't change what you don't measure. So your 2 goals. Zig Ziglar said, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So I really want to encourage you this month to think about 2 goals that are really, really exciting, motivating, and inspiring for you. 2 things that you want to do, you want to focus on. So what kind of goals are we recommending? It might be that your goal is a business goal or a career goal, depending if you're doing this as an entrepreneur or a professional, because we have both who do the program. So a business goal or a career goal. It might be that you want to focus on a mind, body, and health goal. So, you know, more of a holistic goal. It might be that you want to focus on a relationship goal. It might be that you want to focus on boundaries as one of your goals. It might be that you want a more life-focused approach. Whatever your goal is whatever your goal is. Now, we've had people come into the program and say, but I want to focus on 3 goals. I want to focus on 5 goals. I'll say this once, and then I'll say it again. You can focus on as many things as you want to focus on. It's your life. We have just observed that 2 goals works. And 2 goals works because it helps you to really hone in, to narrow in, to just be very, very specific on what it is that you want to do. And the funny thing is, how you do one thing is how you do everything right now. There's a great book called Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And he talks about like how it just helps you to focus on what is essential. So lots of this stuff is really built on the foundations of scientific work that's out there, and a huge number of projects and books and things that I have been involved in, and also things that I have done on myself. We have recognized that if you can focus on 2 goals per month, then at the end of the year, if you multiply them up, that's 24 goals in a whole year. So 2 goals every month is really going to help you achieve more in a year, rather than saying, well, I've got, hundreds of goals that I want to get done and trying to do them all by the end of January. And we know what happens with that. New Year's resolutions don't work because people set too many and they also don't break them down. So this workbook is going to walk you through how to choose 2 goals that you want to focus on and then break them down and then take action on them. Now, if you decide halfway through the month that you want to focus on something else, that's absolutely fine. If you decide halfway through the month that you've set yourself too big a goal and you want to pull it back, that's absolutely fine. You do whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. Like, this is your program as much as anything. I would really encourage you to be the scientist of your life and to be active in the group and to share where you're at and share your things and share what you tried, because vulnerability really does create connection, as the great Brene Brown said in her work. And when you're sharing these things, you're also inspiring others to try something. I've got a great friend who runs 5Ks on Fridays, and she calls it, the 5K Friday, obviously. And she said the other week, well, you can run it, but you don't need to run 5K. And in my head, I thought, oh, so maybe I feel for doing a run today. So I went out for the run. I haven't run for ages, and I ran 2.7 miles. And then on the Sunday, I felt like running, and I ran 3.7 miles. And then, just for whatever reason, it's been quite busy. I've had lots of other things going on. There hasn't been that opportunity. So it's 5K Friday today. I've not run 5K, but I might run tomorrow. And I might run, a few more K. And it's, you do what you can do. And so if my goal is by the end of this month to sort of have run 5K Fridays, then that will be my goal. And incidentally, my goal for this month is a health and well-being goal. I want to spend more time on my health and well-being and set more boundaries around that. So I'll be sharing in the group what I'm doing around that too. So number 4, the bonus training videos. As I said, in the training area, which you should all have been emailed a link to, check your junk if you can't find the emails, because for some reason they go to junk sometimes. This link is also in the group, but this area you will be able to find the training videos. So at the moment we have got the setup call is in there. This will, this recording will be added to there. The mid-month check-in call will be added to there, and the review and graduation call that we do at the end of the month will be added to there as well. So this is your sort of training area. So I'm not sure if you've taken a look at that yet. This new time auditing training is going to be added to that area, and I'm so excited about this. This has come about because a huge number of you have bought my book and are going through the time auditing, but are perhaps struggling with what to do, how to do it, still not able to move forward, and obviously then not able to take action on your goals. So we've included the time auditing masterclass, which has been taken from our time planning program. So this is kind of a training video from there, and it's new, and it's going to be added to that area in the next couple of days. The workbook and progress tracker, as I said, so this is a 23-page workbook. I'm not sure if you have printed it out yet, if you've done it in colour. I did because I wanted to treat myself, or if you've done it in black and white. But this workbook literally walks you through everything. You can find it in the area on the website. There is an explanation of the program, an overview of accountability, talking about progress, not perfection, participation and results. There's also a bio about me in case you don't know very much about who I am. And then there is this life audit. They call this the wheel of life. And people will often do this in coaching. It's one of the sort of the first things that they teach you as a coach, and it's one of the first things that people do if they're investing in sort of basic life coaching. But we've included it in here because we want you to get a real picture of where you are at. There's also a further life audit with questions that you can ask yourself and score yourself. So this is really documenting where you're at right now. So you get a whole vision in order to then be able to use that to move forward. what else do I need to tell you about in there? There is on page 12 an agreement, and this agreement is for you to sign with yourself to say that you're committed to participating in the program and that you take this seriously and you take yourself seriously. Because if you don't, you're not going to get the results. And people who have got the results have, committed to it. So there is no other way. There is no shortcut. The other document that is really going to help you is the progress tracker. So that progress tracker as well is in the website area. And all of these documents, links to these will have been emailed to you, and they will be available in the Facebook accountability group as well. You'll be able to download them from there. And it actually, if you look in the files area on this conversation training that we're having right now, you will notice that they're in there as well. So if you click on them, you should be able to download the workbook and download the tracker. So let me know in the comments if you haven't been able to find them or access them. I'll come back to that in a minute. Number 6, getting the most out of the program, comfort zone. So where most of us are right now is in our comfort zones, just doing what we know, sort of trying a few new things, but not doing as much as we'd want to. Well, here's the exciting thing. You are actually not in the comfort zone, you're in the stretch zone because you've signed up to this program. So you are prepared to do new things and try new things. So you are prepared to dare to dream. And when you move your home from the comfort zone to the stretch zone, that makes the panic zone that bit closer. So the panic zone then becomes the stretch zone. And things are less panicky because you're closer to them. And the reason that people get so stressed about trying new things is because they're actually trying to do it from the comfort zone to the panic zone. And it's too far for them to jump. So it's about taking step. So over the next 25 days, you're taking steps, incremental steps. And what you do, and this is where the progress tracker is going to really help you, is because you can tick off every single day. You can also colour in the days when you weren't feeling like it or it didn't go to plan and start to track and see what triggered that. Because self-awareness is really such a key tool in elevating ourselves to the next level. We can identify who are the people, who are the influences, what is the food, what are the things, what is the media, what is the social media, what is like affecting our mindset. And using the progress tracker will help you. And obviously all these documents you keep for yourself. No one needs to see them. So what is going to happen over the next 25 days is your evolution is an upward slope, right? But that doesn't mean that it is entirely up. So you are going up, slightly down, up, slightly down, up, slightly down. Can you see here? But it's always going up. So even though on the days when you feel like it's not working out, you're still on an upward trajectory. This question mark here is about the mid of the month, the middle of this program. So we call this day 12 and a half. And this is the day when we are going to have the mid-month check-in call. And we are going to sort of be able to be on camera. We'll do it on Zoom. That call isn't publicly shared with people. That's just for us to chat with where we're at, and a circle of trust. And that call is an opportunity to kind of review, like, oh yeah, maybe I did this, and then maybe I did too much, and maybe I had too many goals, and maybe I've realized I need to dial it back, or maybe I'm not doing enough, or maybe I didn't fill in the workbook. Whatever, the mid-month check-in is a great opportunity for you to reinvigorate yourself and your energy with everybody, and to then move forward. And then finally we get to the end, and we're like at the upward part of our curve, if you like, and we have just gone on and gone on and gone on. And even still, after the halfway mark, we're still going up and going down, but we're always going up higher. Does that make sense? Because it's about progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. I want you to write that one down, drill that one into your brain. Whatever you do is better than nothing at all, because you are going to learn from that. Self-sabotage and success mindset. It's a process. It's a habit loop. Who am I being? What am I doing? What actions am I taking? And then what am I getting? So the first three are very closely linked together. Who am I being? So what stories am I telling myself? What am I doing? Telling stories. What am I getting? The results I have. So who I'm being is someone who's not taking any action. What I'm doing is not taking any action, and sabotaging myself. And what am I getting? Sabotage. So if I want to change this process to get the results that I actually want to get, I have to become aware of who I'm being, because I'm in charge of who I'm being. I can be whoever I want to be. So the question to ask yourself is, how do I want to feel? If what I'm feeling right now isn't what I want to be feeling, then what am I committed to change? And then the loop changes. It's known as neuroplasticity. And this is how we can rewire our brains for the success that we actually want. This is a very, very simplified version of this training for this training. But I just wanted to get that in there so that you can see stories. And stories is kind of another way of saying your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, what you think is possible for you. Like, you might have a belief that everyone else can have it, but you can't. This is a big one I've had to be working through. Like, I can't do it, other people can do it, but who am I to do it? Which is kind of a bit of an imposter syndrome conversation as well. So does your environment support your goals, and does your circle support your goals? So this is why we have an accountability group with the program, so that the people you are spending the time with are supporting you on your journey. And if the people around you in your day-to-day life don't, just spend less time with them. If they're family, spend less time with them. Do whatever it is you need to do in order to stay focused with the blinkers on and achieve what it is that you want to do. And if it's friends, question if that friendship is adding value to your life. And it's not about cutting people out. It's about recognizing that we control the information that goes in here. So we are in charge of silencing it. We are in charge of turning the volume down on it, just by either spending less time with it or giving it less attention. But this is a journey. It's not like a final destination, and it's not a magic pill. So progress over perfection. Just keep going. And then finally, if you feel like you would benefit from having a one-to-one session with me, then we offer this for £97. You get a 45-minute Zoom session where I review your goals with you, and then we revise and go through the workbook and create your plan for you. And then you get email support over the 30 days. So this is on top of the program, in addition to, and if you would like to do that, then the link to do that is also at the bottom of the training area page, and I'll share it in the group as well. So that is us for your setup call. I'm going to come to questions in a minute. I just want to let you know that we have a hashtag for this. So if you feel like sharing anything online about what you're doing and you want to use this hashtag, then you are so welcome to. The hashtag is 25-day reset. And if you want to tag me or us in any of your posts, we have some social media handles which are on page 12 of your workbook. There's too many to put on here, but on Twitter, it's SBD Training. On Facebook, it's Success BD Training, and on Instagram, it's Success by Design Training. But all those details are on the page. And if we've hung out for a while, you'll know that our Instagram was hacked, which has affected all our social media handles, which is why it's a bit clunky. But anyway, it has been so amazing to hang out with you for this setup call. I really, really look forward to spending time with you over the next 25 days, seeing how it's all going and finding out you know, what's stopping you and what you want to get done and how you want to get it done, achieve it. So let me just look in the chat and just see if there's any questions. I can see a question about, will there be an interactive session? Yes, there will. That's the mid-month check-in call, and that mid-month check-in call is on the 15th of February, day after Valentine's Day. That's a Tuesday. That will be 7:30 p.m. GMT time, so we'll be on Zoom. That will be a closed Zoom just for us, and it will only be shared with us, so it will be a safe space. One of the other questions is, will we be getting these slides or should we be making notes? Hopefully you've been making notes. The slides are just a guide for the conversation, but you will be able to look back and watch this on the replay. But everything is in the workbook. I highly encourage you to print out that workbook. I have one clearly defined goal, but working on the second, it would be a personal one, and I'm just working out exactly what I want. Yes, that's absolutely perfect. And I recommend that you pick a goal, one that is personal and one that is business, so that we can start to have some kind of balance. Because also, if we've hung out before and you've read my book, you will have heard me talk about the 888 formula, which is how we create the formula that works for us in our lives. Because we weren't born to just work and then die. We were born to work, but we were born to live, primarily to live. So if you've got any other questions, any tips for reducing the number of goals, I have 44. So go through the workbook and see where you come out to, and let us know in the group what has happened after spending some time. Do the masterclass trainings, which are in the training area. The SMART goal setting one, obviously I appreciate a lot of you know how to set SMART goals, but I really deep dive into it and talk about it. And then the other thing to say is, we don't quite realize it until we write everything down and then get a highlighter pen. I love highlighters, so if we've hung out before, you'll hear me talk about highlighters a lot. Get a highlighter pen and start to recognize how the 44 is actually probably 4 goals, because the other 40 are parts of it and or leading to it. So it might be that some of them are steps that you need to take in order to get to where you want to go. And it might be that they're not actually goals, that you've just gone very, very granular and you've gone from a goal into the actual strategy and tactics. But go through the workbook, go through the bonus trainings, and then ask the questions in the group. And there is no limit to the number of questions you can ask in the group. And as I've said, if you feel like you benefit from like one-to-one with me, that is always an option. But the group is there for you all the time. I will be popping into the group every single day to see what's going on. Then we are going to meet on Zoom on the 15th. And then on the 28th at the end as well, we'll do that wrap-up call on Zoom too. But I'm so, so excited that we get to spend this time together, and give yourself a clap for actually investing in yourself and investing your time and investing your money into yourself, because that is so, so huge. And I love that you've all been connecting with each other in the chat. And I love that there's all circles within circles within circles. This is why we have the posts in the group where we ask people to sort of say where the base, what it is, you know, that they do, what they're struggling with, because then you'll start to really learn more about each other. And the other thing that we're going to do is start a post, and you can share on that post what your goals are. So that has been the end of our session today, our setup call. By the group, I mean the Facebook group, yes. So it is called the Accountability Group, but this group is held on Facebook. And so for those of you who don't necessarily want to participate that much in the group, that's why we have the content and the training on the website so that you can access all of that there. But if you want the group, then they all link together. So I would encourage you to do both and see how you go. But any other questions, put them in the Facebook group, and I look forward to seeing you online, if not somewhere else before. So take care.